Great morning, everybody. I said great morning. Everybody together, great morning.
Great morning, sir.
Thank you. Respected Reverend Father Principal of this esteemed, I wouldn't say college, but university, Loyola, to which, I myself belong in a sense because I am an alumnus of a sister institution, St. Joseph's of Bangalore. So every time I come into a Jesuit institution, I remember my debt to my teachers and the Jesuits who educated us and shaped us all our lives till we entered the real world. So let us all give the Jesuits a my good friend, guide and philosopher, Professor Tilakaraj, former head, and he always retains his headship. He has never become former because he's always head of something. He has a sound head on wise shoulders. The vice principals of both ships, the deans of students, both men and women, distinguished members of the faculty of the university, the club faculty advisors, and above all the office bearers of the various student clubs and student auxiliary bodies like the NCC, who I see present in this audience but not included among the clubs as I was told by the Dean of Students. The old boy, literally old boy, Mr. Ruth Swami, he still remains a very young man. I always say he's the youngest member of the Friends of Police, and he's retained that status for the last 20 years. Members, they're applauding your youth. Members of the media, if any present, and all the students, not just in this campus but across the world. Our days in college are the most valuable times in our lives. These are the times that you will remember forever. It leaves a great imprint on your mind. And this is not just the foundation, but even the superstructure of your life is based on what you do in college. School is the foundation, but beyond the school, the college builds solid superstructure on that foundation. Each of you is designed to be a super connected leader. Every morning I write something on a new theme, and today I came up with the idea of, first time probably in history, of organic leader. You talk about organic vegetables, you talk about organic fruit, but why don't we talk about organic leaders? What is an organic leader? An organic leader is he focuses not on external goals, but the growth starts from within. It's like a chicken. The chicken doesn't, nobody breaks the egg for the chicken to emerge, but the growth happens from within. The heart starts pumping first. The first organ that is formed in any being is the heart, because the heart has to pump, and it pumps life as the life is being formed in all its parts. So a leader has to be super connected. A super connected leader is not hyper connected. That means he is not excessively connected in one dimension. A super connected leader is connected with the Creator, God. But connection with one part doesn't mean that he is not connected with other parts. He has to be connected with the body. He has to be connected with the different organs, with different realities in life. You cannot be like an ostrich that buries its head in the sand, even as its eggs are being preyed upon by some predator. You have to face reality. And that is where these student clubs play a great role in awakening students to the social reality. You get conscientized and sensitized and energized. You have to be first conscientized. You have to be awakened about the harsh realities of life. The extent of joblessness of youth, the extent of poverty in the country, the extent of corruption in the country, the need for idealism to be injected in individuals regardless of the external environment. That is why these lodestone in my old institutions, Faith and Toil, the Jesuit institution, gives you a motto. What is your motto? Let your light shine. That is an abbreviation of a portion of scripture which says, let your light shine so that men see the deeds that you do and praise God. While the motto of the institution, my alma mater, St. Joseph's, was faith and toil. Such a wholesome idea. Mere faith is not enough. It has to be put in action, and that requires toil. That requires struggle. And I am glad to see that the idea that was planted in this campus nearly 8 years ago through the idea of FOP, Friends of Police. The idea of Friends of Police was not born in my mind merely to create a supportive environment for the police, though that is one of the main goals. But it is super connected to all that a human being stands for. FOP doesn't mean just Friends of Police, it means Friends of Poor. It means friends of progress. It means friends of principles. Of course, the principal is your friend and you are a friend of the principal. That is the way a healthy college maintains its atmosphere. But I am talking about the word principles. Principles, which means principles. Life-giving principles. Just like the blood is pumped by the heart to different parts, principles are life-giving. Without those principles, we cease to be what we are. As Hillel said, if I am not for myself, who will be? But if I am for myself alone, then what am I? You define yourself by your concern for others and your super connection with all of creation, with nature, with society. And that is why these clubs, 23 clubs, are meant to conscientize, sensitize, and energize you. First, you need awakening. You need that awareness that these are the challenges in life. So that is why this Friends of Police concept was meant to awaken students to the reality at the cutting edge of life. Police is an institution that is universal. Friendship is a sentiment that is universal and deep. Everyone needs friends. But when you combine these two powerful movements in themselves, policing, which is based on the self-preservation instinct, and also friendship, which gives meaning to life, then you have a very powerful concept which can transform not just India but the world. 8 years ago, I made the challenge that we need to raise 1 million Friends of Police. Swami Vivekananda said, give me 200 energized youth and I will transform the nation. Today the challenges are so great that you don't need just 200. You already have 250 in this very campus in the shape of the active, energetic, conscientized Friends of Police. They have done so much in the last 8 years, and I want to thank the principal and the management for recognizing them this year. I think it is already public, isn't it? Or is it still a secret? That they have been awarded the Best Club Award. But after being conscientized and sensitized about the possibilities of crime, and after reading the news that a certain girl called Swati was murdered brutally in a public place like the Nungampakam railway station, the Friends of Police, they of Loyola University adopted this station. And without knowing even the theorem, that is the basis of community policing, the broken window theory it is called. If you have a broken window in an apartment, it is an invitation to disorder and crime. It is a sign that the owners don't care for the environment or for their own homes. And that will invite drug abuse in that area. It will invite sexual offenses. It will invite domestic violence. This is known as the broken window theory. Without even probably being aware of this broken window theory, they put the theory in action. They cleaned up the station. I've seen the pictures of Nungampakam station as it was before and as it is after they stepped in, where hundreds of the Friends of Police went and cleaned up the station. They used their own resources to make the station neat and tidy, so that no person who enters the precincts of the railway station will even think of committing a crime. So there is a connectivity between our external environment and our inner mind. There is a connection between our inner mind and the external. There is a reflection of the inner to the outer and the outer to the inner. And that is why while you are in the institutions, you must know yourself completely. Knowing yourself is the secret of knowledge, as said by the wisest of men, Socrates, more than 3,000 years ago. And knowing yourself is what has led me to continue on this journey. And I said, how to create a soul pulse by which I will continually change for the better. Change is inevitable, but growth is intentional. Each of you should grow intentionally, not at the pace that your teachers tell you or your parents tell you, but you need to grow at a rapid pace, which means you have to connect with your inner being, with your faith, and you must energize yourself so that you focus your entire attention on at least one idea while you're in college. Every one of you should focus on at least one idea that you will make it a reality throughout your lives. And your lives will be truly not just successful, but that you will be legendary. Each of you who are there, office bearers today, take one idea in your life and then commit your life to that, to make it a reality when you go in the field as employees or entrepreneurs or as organic leaders. The growth has to come from within. The shell of the egg breaks from within and it's not broken from outside. If it is broken from outside, the life dies. But as the chicken hatches, it breaks the shell from inside. The growth has to take place from within. And all these club activities is meant to spur that kind of internal growth, which will lead to external progress, economic progress, social progress, political progress. Education is the root of all progress. Unfortunately, as I was having a word with Professor Tilagaraj, all of you are aware of the ills that afflict education. As I was having a discussion with Professor Miharu V, who came to study the Friends of Police movement, like Huan Sang, the Chinese pilgrim came many centuries ago to India to study Buddhism. I said, you are like a modern Huan Sang. And in our parting words, I asked her, what is it that India can learn from Japan? And her words were enlightening. It is not that we don't know it, but it is a re-emphasis. She said that education is very important for development. They said Japan gave a lot of importance to education. And that led to the nation being modernized, transformed out of the ruins and ashes of the Second World War. Today we have not been reduced to ruins and ashes, the country has progressed. But there is many dry bones in the valley. You need to inspire hope into those dry bones by your faith and thought. And this is the challenge that I place to you in this club day address. After congratulating the management, the faculty leaders, every office member, and every member of these 23 clubs, in all the multifarious activities that you are involved, that make this campus not just a beehive of activity, but it helps people evolve so that they fulfill Hilal's dictum that you are not for yourselves alone, you are not just living to earn a living for yourself, but to make life better for the multitudes, in whatever way, small or big. I have completed 30 years in the Indian Police Service. At many stages in this walk, my life itself was at stake. But today I can say that I have at least contributed to that purpose by showing the idea of FOP, a multi-dimensional concept, in millions of minds, not just in India but across the world. My role was simple and small, but it is the hard work of people like Professor Swami and all of you that has helped the movement sustain itself despite enormous resistance from various forces for various motives and personal reasons. We were able to overcome so many restraints and constraints and obstacles. And that's why I said that short pulse is what inspired me to keep going. Be at it, beat it. This is the final word I leave with you. Be at it, beat it. You can get the expansion of it on my website, eqthinking.com. It means that you not only need to reinforce your strengths as a person or as an institution or organization, but you also need to work on overcoming your weaknesses. Every weakness is an opportunity. And when you're in college, if you identify those weaknesses, is it a lack of focus? Is it too much emotions? Is it a lack of hope and faith? Is it cynicism? The number becomes cynical despite the realities that I spoke of. Always hold on to high ideals. Those ideals will recharge you every day, as it does me. Every day you will go charging into the world, like Ignatius Loyola, a commander of the spirit, mind and body. Holistic growth means you must grow in spirit, mind and body. When I was in college, they taught me this Latin saying, mens sano in corpore sano. To that, through my own thinking, I've added not just a sound mind and a sound body, but a sound spirit. The hierarchy is, the leadership should be first sound spirit, then sound mind, then sound body. The spirit will give the direction with which you should go. As I wrote the Philippism recently, leadership is all about direction, while management is all about directions. Doing this, doing that, moving in so many directions, that is management. But leadership is about knowing the direction in which your life should move. And each of you will be transformed as a leader as you take one idea that will give you direction and purpose for the rest of your lives. I once again congratulate the Friends of Police for having brought so much of sense of discipline and security to this campus. In every event that is organized, I am told, even when ministers who have studied here come to the campus, the Friends of Police provide the bandobast or security. When there is an issue with other institutions or students or some problem with rowdies in the neighborhood, the Friends of Police intervene. Not only they cleaned up the railway station, but they are involved in night patrolling. They are involved in multifarious activities. I am a human being who is not satisfied with a single aspect of life. I want to be involved and evolved in every aspect of life, spirit, mind and body. So that you cannot put me in a stereotype. You cannot say that he is only a thinker, he is only a police officer, he is only an academician. Likewise, each of you should develop like organic leaders, holistic, wholesome and balanced. I once again thank the management for having given me this rare privilege of being present on the club's day to witness your ceremonies. Nandri, Vanakkam.